To all the beginners out there who have been following this channel and going through the beginner series, I hate to spring this on you at the last second, but this is your first exam. Friends and neighbors, welcome back to the Brownstone. Thank you for visiting me here once again. It's been a while since I posted a video, but during that time and even before, I've received a lot of comments from the beginners out there. Those of you who have just started picking up the bass or relearning the bass or dusting off that old bass in the corner. But what I'm hearing from many of you who have followed and gone through the beginner series is that you are either on pick any lesson from 1 to 13, or you have gone through the entire series and you're wondering what to do next. This has me a little bit concerned because as a beginner, it does really take a while to get all the concepts under your fingers. So I just want to go back. I just want to go back to the first 2 lessons and make sure that you have these concepts covered. Not only that, but I want you to move forward through the beginner series once again and make sure all of the concepts in each of those lessons are also under the fingers and in the muscle memory to some degree. There is always room for improvement, and there are even things in lesson 1 of the beginner series that I am struggling with and trying to improve upon. So here's what we're going to do today. These are the things that you should be practicing every day if you are a beginner. If you have gone through the entire series and you're wondering what to do next, then hey, this is your exam. I hope you pass. I'm rooting for you. I really am. In the first 2 lessons of the beginner series, we covered the first 3 notes on the first 2 strings. Those 3 notes being the 3 notes of the E string, which includes the open E to the 1st fret, the F with the 1st finger, and then the 3rd fret, G, with the 3rd finger, right? Open E, 1st fret, 3rd fret. Open, 1st finger, 3rd finger. And then we moved on to the A string and we played the first 3 notes on that string. That was the open A, and then the 2nd fret with the 2nd finger, that's B, and then the 3rd fret with the 3rd finger, that's C. So we have 6 notes that we're working on. E, F, G, A, B, C. Open string, 1st finger, 3rd finger, 3rd fret. And then the open A, you have the open string, 2nd finger, 2nd fret, 3rd finger, 3rd fret. Those are just the basics. But here are the things that we really need to work on if we're going to get our technique together with these notes. So the first thing we've already covered. Play those notes, say the names out loud, and really get an understanding of where they are and what fingers you're using on each note. If you don't know the names, then that's where you have to work. If you want to understand and just use the frets or the fingers first, you can do that as well, and then name the notes once you're comfortable with where everything is, right? So A, B, C. So I have E, F, G, A, B, C. Very simple. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to play the same little exercise of playing the first 6 notes of the bass and focus now on the right hand. And what I want you to do, this is where the challenge comes in, especially for brand new players. I want you to alternate the fingers, right? The 1st and 2nd finger. Because there is a tendency, and I've done this as well, when I was learning, I only played with my 2nd finger. I don't know why, but everything was like that. But as you progress on this instrument and you are challenged more and have to play things that might be a little bit faster or involve 8th notes or even 16th notes, you want to be able to cover those rhythms comfortably. And it's very difficult to do that with just one finger. You can only go so fast using one finger. But if I use two fingers, that allows me to play at faster tempos with a higher level of comfort. So the first thing we're going to do is just play the open E string. This is the simplest of simple exercises, because now I don't want to think about what's going on with the left hand. I just want to work on what's happening with the right hand. And I just want to play 1, 2 at a nice comfortable tempo. But then, as you get comfortable with that tempo, see if you can push things a little bit and find where your limit might be. I'll show you where my limit is. So you can hear me playing as fast as I can, and it's not very even. It's not very good. So I know I have to work on playing 16th notes or even 32nd notes at this tempo, which is kind of a struggle for me. So that's the challenge for me. If I were to go back and just play lesson 1 of the beginner series, then I want to be able to play those lessons at this tempo that I now find challenging, and see if I can make that feel comfortable. Now, for you, if you're just starting out on this instrument, maybe your tempo is here. Maybe you're just struggling to understand how to organize your fingers so that you can comfortably play first finger, second finger in sequence over and over again. But trust me, don't feel bad about that. Don't feel like you're a terrible bass player and you'll never be able to do this. You will. This is your starting point. When you feel like you've got that covered and you've found your tempo, that your tempo being the tempo that is comfortable for you to play at a constant level, right? So then we can add the left hand back in and play the notes. So what I want you to do is play each note of the E string, E, F, G, open string, first fret, third fret, or open string, first finger, third finger. Play each of those notes 4 times. Now I realize in doing that, I'm basically revisiting the very first lesson of the beginner series. But it's very important that you understand this concept, because I feel like a lot of the beginners who comment and say that they've gone through the entire beginner series have not really focused on playing these concepts at a comfortable level. Because even I do the same thing. If I'm trying to learn a certain thing or trying to understand a certain concept that I want to incorporate, then maybe I'll watch a whole bunch of videos and then feel like I've got it, but I don't. So I have to go back to the beginning again and make sure that everything is here and here. So this is what I want you to do. Just play the first 3 notes of the E string 4 times on each note and see if you can play 1, 2, 1, 2 with the right hand. And then go back. Open, F, first fret, G, third fret, third finger, and then back. 4 times each. So that's the idea. Just practice that 4 times on each note, first 3 notes of the E string, and really concentrate on making each note as even as possible so that no finger is accenting any of the notes more. And you can really find where your strengths and weaknesses lie as you start to push the tempo. So there, that was my tempo. I can feel that I was struggling a little bit to maintain that speed, and some of the notes weren't coming out as even as I would like. So that, for me, if I were to go back to lesson 1 and work on that, then that's what I would work on. 4 times on each note at your desired tempo, the tempo that helps you to understand the concept the most. So once you've covered that, then you move on to the next string and you do the same thing. you play the first 3 notes, the open A, the B at the 2nd fret, the C at the 3rd fret, and then you do the same thing. Work on getting the right hand together and play 4 times on each note. Back and forth. A, B, C, B, A. And work at your own tempo. Whatever that may be. Now, once you've got that down, then here's what I want you to do. This is going to be the most challenging part for the beginners. You go through, you play the first 2 strings 4 times on each note, going from the open E up to the 3rd fret of the A string, that note C, 4 times at your own pace. G, A, B, C, and then go backwards. C, B, A, G, F, E. And once you feel comfortable with that, then see if you can do 2 times on each note. E, F, G, A, B, C, and then back. C, B, A, G, F, A. And then see if you can do just 1 time on each note, going up and down. So these are the things that I want you to work on. If you're just a beginner starting out on this, I shouldn't say just. If you're a beginner starting out on this instrument, then these are the things that I want you to work on. Because I know it's easy to just watch the lessons and then fly through and then say, yeah, I got that, that's fine. But do you? This is your exam. Friends and neighbors, I'm gonna leave it there. I don't wanna load you down with too much work, especially if you're a beginner. But I hope you like the lesson, and I hope this lesson helps you to really hone your technique and improve your skills and really just give you the confidence to let you know that you can do this. You can achieve what you want to achieve on this instrument. Whether you want to be a super virtuoso or you just want to get through the tunes that you play at church. These are the things that I want you to work on, just for starting out and getting an understanding of how to, establish that relationship with the instrument so that the hands always know what they're supposed to do and you don't have to think about it as much. Friends and neighbors, if you like this video, you know what to do. Hit that like button, share the video. The more you click like, the more YouTube decides that more people need to see this. And it really helps the channel out in a huge way. There are a number of ways you can donate to the channel if you are in a position to do so. That is all greatly appreciated. And thanks for visiting me here once again in the Brownstone. You are always welcome. And I'll see you in the next video very soon. Peace.